Picture this for a second. A former mixed martial arts fighter turned rising Hollywood star decides to take on the biggest titan in entertainment, Disney, in a legal showdown that could change everything. We're not talking about a sci-fi plot ripped from Star Wars. This is real life unfolding right now in March 2025, with Gina Carano front and center. Her weapon? An explosive lawsuit accusing Disney and Lucasfilm of discrimination and wrongful termination after her abrupt exit from The Mandalorian. Her mission? To prove that even giants can stumble when they try to silence voices that don't fit their script. This isn't just a courtroom battle, it's an epic clash that's got Hollywood, fans, and even eccentric billionaires like Elon Musk watching closely. So grab a seat, because this story has more layers than a spaceship under repair and more twists than a brawl in the octagon. To get how we ended up here, we've got to rewind and see where Gina Carano came from. She wasn't just any actress when she landed in The Mandalorian. Born in Texas in 1982, Gina carved her path in the brutal world of mixed martial arts, a sport where women were just starting to make a name for themselves back in the 2000s. With a 7-1 record, she became a pioneer, dubbed the face of women's MMA. Her presence in the ring was magnetic, strong, determined, someone who didn't back down from anything or anyone. But fate had other plans. After a loss in 2009 that ended her fighting career, Hollywood came knocking. She started with small roles in movies like Haywire, where her physical skills and charisma made her stand out, and then moved on to hits like Deadpool. But it was in 2019 with The Mandalorian that she really took off. Playing Cara Dune, a tough ex-rebel soldier with a stormy past, Gina found a role that felt tailor-made for her. Fans loved her, and rumors swirled that Disney was so impressed they were planning to give her her own spin-off series, Rangers of the New Republic. Everything seemed to be lining up for Gina to become a Star Wars icon. That is, until a single tweet flipped the game upside down. And here's where things get juicy. In 2021, Gina dropped a series of social media posts that made the internet blow up like an overloaded reactor. One of them, posted on Instagram, compared the divisive political climate in the US to how the Nazis incited hatred against Jews before the Holocaust. Most people don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them just for being Jews, she wrote. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? To some, it was a provocative take on polarization. To others, an offensive comparison that downplayed a historic tragedy. The backlash was instant. Hashtags like Fire Gina Carano started trending on Twitter, and critics accused her of everything from insensitivity to anti-Semitism. But what really fanned the flames was an earlier incident. When someone asked her to put her pronouns in her Twitter bio, she replied with a playful boop bop beep, a nod to R2-D2. That sparked another wave of outrage, with claims of transphobia flying everywhere. Was Gina a victim of cancel culture, or someone who'd crossed a line? It depended on who you asked, but Disney wasn't about to wait for a debate. The hammer dropped fast and hard. Within days, Lucasfilm released a statement that left no room for doubt. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be in the future. Her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. It wasn't just a firing, it was a public execution. They didn't just cut ties quietly, they made it clear Gina was persona non grata in their galaxy. But here's where the story gets murky. While Gina was being thrown to the wolves, her co-star Pedro Pascal had made equally bold political statements without facing any fallout. Back in 2017, Pascal compared Trump's immigration policies to Nazi concentration camps, a parallel that stirred controversy too, but didn't cost him his job. In fact, Disney kept him as the face of The Mandalorian and later rewarded him with the role of Reed Richards in the upcoming MCU film Fantastic Four. The discrepancy was impossible to miss. Why was Gina crucified while Pedro walked away unscathed? Fans started speculating. Was this a double standard based on gender or ideology? Was Disney punishing Gina for her conservative views while letting Pascal's progressive takes slide? The questions hung in the air, and Gina wasn't about to let them go unanswered. Instead of backing down or apologizing, Gina decided to fight back the way she'd always done in life. In 2024, with financial backing from Elon Musk and his X platform, she filed a lawsuit against Disney and Lucasfilm that rocked headlines. The accusation was straightforward: discrimination over her political beliefs and wrongful termination. But she didn't stop there. Gina claimed Disney tried to force her into a virtual re-education session with 40 members of their LGBTQ community, a Zoom meeting she saw as an attempt to humiliate her and record it for leverage. "They were publicly defaming me on social media while asking me to grovel on camera," she said in an interview. When she refused, Disney doubled down, demanding a public apology she never wrote, one that, she says, forced her to admit to. Mocking or insulting an entire group of people, something she insists she never did. Her response was a blunt "go to hell," and that kicked off a war that's kept Hollywood on edge ever since. The lawsuit isn't just about money. Gina wants a judge to order Disney to recast her as Cara Dune, a move as bold as it is unlikely at this point. But beyond that, her case raises a bigger question. Can a company like Disney punish someone for what they say off the clock without breaking California labor laws? And just when you thought this story couldn't get wilder, enter Elon Musk. Yep, the same guy who builds rockets and tweets memes at midnight. In 2023, Musk made a public offer on X. He'd cover legal fees for anyone who felt they'd been discriminated against over posts on his platform. When Gina shared her story, Musk didn't hesitate to step in. Rumors say he's not just paying her lawyers, but sees this case as a personal crusade against what he calls woke tyranny. Is this just a publicity stunt for X? Or does Musk genuinely believe Disney crossed a line? No one knows for sure, but his involvement has raised the stakes. Picture the headline: X-fighter and eccentric billionaire team up against Disney empire. It sounds like something out of a movie, but it's real. And in 2025, it's taking shape in a way no one saw coming. With Musk in her corner, Gina's got resources few can match, and that's put Disney in an awkward spot. Because if this case goes to trial, emails, messages, and internal meetings could come to light, revealing exactly how and why they decided to fire her. Speaking of 2025, this is where things get really spicy. In July 2024, a federal judge denied Disney's attempt to dismiss the lawsuit, a win Gina celebrated like a first-round knockout. "I'm thrilled to move forward with the judicial process and get into the discovery phase," she wrote on X. What does that mean? Her lawyers will soon have access to Disney's internal records, emails between execs, meeting notes, maybe even WhatsApp chats where her firing was hashed out. Fans are speculating this could expose not just the decision to axe her, but how. Disney handled other actors like Pascal, too. In October 2024, Disney tried another legal maneuver, requesting a stay of proceedings and an interlocutory appeal. But Judge Sherilyn Peace Garnett shut it down flat. The trial's set for September 29, 2025, and with every passing day, the pressure builds. Some say Disney's desperate to keep this from reaching a courtroom, fearing the discovery phase might uncover a pattern of behavior they don't want the public to see. Others believe Gina's got a real shot at winning, especially with California labor laws protecting off-duty political speech. But one thing's for sure, this showdown is far from over. Now, let's step back and look at the bigger picture, because this isn't just about Gina and Disney. It's about the state of Hollywood and culture in 2025. The Mandalorian was a massive hit when it debuted in 2019, a beacon of hope for Star Wars fans who felt the franchise had lost its way with the sequels. Cara Dune was a beloved character, a tough but human warrior who clicked with audiences. But since Gina's firing, the show's moved on without her, and some say it feels different. Season 3, released in 2023, got mixed reviews and plenty. Fans pointed to Cara Dune's absence as a gap they couldn't fill. Meanwhile, the MCU's been stumbling, with films like The Marvels and Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania bombing at the box office, and Disney Plus losing subscribers at an alarming rate. Critics argue Disney's gotten too obsessed with messaging over storytelling, and Gina's case has become a flashpoint in that debate. Her supporters see her as a martyr for free speech, someone who refused to bow to Hollywood's thought. Police. Her detractors say her comments were reckless and deserved consequences, but everyone agrees on one thing: this case is shaking up the industry's norms. And then there's the cultural angle. In 2025, the culture war in the US is hotter than ever. Polarization between left and right has hit fever pitch, and Hollywood's not immune. Social media, especially X, has become a battleground where every post is dissected, amplified, and weaponized. Gina's firing has turned into a symbol for many. To some, a warning about the dangers of cancel culture. To others, proof that companies can set their own boundaries. Meanwhile, recent rumors suggest Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm's president, might be stepping down, sparking speculation about whether Gina's case played a role. Is this a sign Disney's rethinking its approach, or just a coincidence in a chaotic moment? No one knows yet, but it adds another layer of intrigue to a story already dripping with drama. So, where's all this headed? If Gina wins, it could set a precedent that makes big corporations think twice before firing someone over their personal views. Imagine a world where actors and creators can speak freely without fear of retaliation. Her victory might even force Disney to bring back Cara Dune, though that feels more like a fan dream than a practical reality at this point. But if she loses, Disney could come out stronger, with a clear message. Align your words with our vision or face the music. Yet even in defeat, Gina's already pulled off something remarkable. She's put a spotlight on Disney's practices and forced a conversation that won't fade anytime soon. With the trial looming in September 2025, the world's watching. Fans are split, legal experts are debating, and Hollywood's holding its breath. Think about this for a moment. Disney's been the undisputed king of entertainment for decades, an empire built on dreams, magic, and tightly controlled narratives. But now, one woman, armed with a lawsuit and the backing of an unpredictable billionaire, is challenging that dominance. It's not just about Gina Carano, it's about power, freedom, and the future of how stories get told. If she pulls this off, it could be the first crack in Disney's armor, a sign that even giants can fall. And if she doesn't, well, the Mouse Empire might just get even more untouchable. As the clock ticks toward trial, one question lingers. Is this the beginning of the end of Disney's absolute reign, or just another chapter in its saga of control? You decide, but one thing's clear. This fight's just getting started, and the next round promises to be epic.